Do what we always do. Put all our eggs in the Champions League basket.
So now it's a must win for Real Madrid now, man. It is a must win.
You asked me earlier if I thought Ancelotti was staying. If he loses against Chelsea, he's gone.
It's the whole thing with the whole like, Jude Bellingham. I was like, why would he even want to go there? Like,
that's what I was saying. He should go to Real Madrid. Real Madrid is what makes the most sense to everybody.
Yeah.
You have the most amount of
his role needs replacing. I mean, the role that he plays, right?
You just put him in right there. Job done.
Yeah.
Because I think Cruz is done after the season, you would think. So
yeah, I mean, Cruz and Modric, just like they can only play for so long. Modric is 37. Like, damn. Like,
I think
Cruz just looks tired. Cruz just looks like he's I can just imagine Cruz one day just be like, you know what, I've won everything I need to win. Like, I'm even surprised it's still. He gave me vibes of like Zidane types where it was just like, I'm just gonna call it quits at 33 and then that's it. Like, off to the sunset. Like that type of player, I feel like.
Then you have Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Bellingham.
And Bellingham. Yeah.
That's wild. Crazy. That is wild.
Let's just making the bed for Mbappe to come claim his throne. It's just like,
you think so?
I think everybody's linked to Real Madrid. It's just a matter if Real Madrid wants them. That's what it is. Everybody's a Real Madrid player. It just depends on if they want you. That's the way it works. I guess this could be a great segment to the El Clasico. I
kind of already felt that the league was done. Barcelona, they've been it's like Real Madrid. Barcelona is like they're just built to beat Madrid. And then this year they've like added like this defensive solidness to their game. I think it's something like they've only conceded 9 goals this season or something like that. Just a whole bunch of 1-0s and 1-0s and 1-0s. And Madrid, like, we've struggled to break teams down. Like, we can only play one way. And it's basically just high octane down that left. It's just Vinny. Like, the right side of our field is basically non-existent. We just defend on the right-hand side, and then we just pump everything. And then Barca does this thing where they put Araujo as a center back, but they move him onto the right every time they play us, just so that he can just lock Vinny down. And so I kind of felt like it was a weird El Clasico because it's like I just had it on in the background. We were like running around and doing whatever yesterday. I had it on in the background, but it was just like we took the lead, and even at that point, I was like, I don't know, still felt weird. And then they tied it up, and then they got their little last minute goal, and then it was just like, I don't know. It's like I already gave up on the league a while ago. Yeah. We dropped points. We just dropped like these stupid points, and we just turned up for the Champions League. That's just essentially it. But it felt like, honestly, like last year we had no business winning the league and the Champions League. Anyways, like it just felt like this team is in a transition phase, and we're just having to like suffer through it. We have injuries. We have old players. Like Benzema, it's one of those seasons where I'm just like, okay, like let's just get through it. We need new blood. We need something to happen down that right hand side because Rodrigo is just too inconsistent. And when Fede plays on that right hand side, he's becoming more and more of less of a forward player and more of just like a workhorse, which I'm not liking. We're not in a good place right now, and so I wasn't surprised with the result.
What are your thoughts on the Carvajal on the right hand side? Is also obviously Jeff wasn't too happy that Tchouaméni wasn't starting because he felt. What was your thought on the whole Cruz starting over like Tchouaméni? Even though obviously it's not the same role, but it just felt that Tchouaméni could have been the defensive player. Camavinga could have been that box to box, and then Modric has that free role to kind of roam.
Yeah, I think Ancelotti, I think there's some like discipline issues there, because ever since when he was injured and he went to Paris when we were playing in the Copa, when we were losing to Barcelona in the Copa del Rey, without telling anybody, he hasn't he hasn't really featured as much. Like before, he was like damn. It was like Courtois, Chouameni, like Courtois,
Yeah.
Alaba, Chouameni. Those were constants. And lately, he's been trying to get more out of Camavinga. So Camavinga was playing that holding role, box to box. Camavinga brings a little bit more offensively, and I think that's what Ancelotti was basically trying to defend with the four defenders and have the front kind of create, because Nacho's not going to give you anything creatively. Carvajal is basically just a right back at this point. Like his knees are gone. He can't play a full season. So I think so it's almost like he wanted to defend with four and attack with six, and I think that's why he did that. I don't think that he could have played bench Cruz and started Chouameni, Camavinga. I feel like if Chouameni had started, Camavinga wouldn't start. So I think those were his options. It was he wanted to play Camavinga to be a bit more fluid because it worked great against Liverpool. But Liverpool, because what happens is because they're so spread out, Camavinga goes through the middle very well and it's like pretty creative, whereas Chouameni is more of a side to side passer. Every now and then he'll show some glimpses, but it's very much a side to side passer. So I think that was the game plan. I think we just got unlucky, honestly. Like Asensio's offside was like by a fraction.
And
so it's just Barca's year to win the league. We'll try again next year.
And I guess selling their soul to the devil, it looks like it's paying off just a bit. This is their second trophy. And now they're leading 1-0 in the Copa del Rey as well, too, right? So on the first leg. So it's funny. Like that's the thing I've always wondered. Like because I honestly believe I prefer like style of play Camavinga's, because like this was like years back. I remember like when I first saw him, I got him on FIFA, even though he was still like 60 rating, and because I thought like Camavinga was going to become the new Pogba. It's just their style of play. You know, they have that flair to them. They can defend. They can go forward. They can. But I noticed that on the French team, when he went to Real Madrid, Chouameni was favored a lot more, even though obviously Chouameni is more of a defensive player. So it kind of makes sense. And I like what you said does make sense, because that's what I was trying to voice about the French national team at the World Cup was that's why I felt they were missing Pogba a lot. Was you didn't have that player that could drive forward the ball, that can do things on the ball, right? I felt Chouameni was too predictable, just side to side. You know, Griezmann can only do so much. You know, Griezmann was not playing his natural. So that's why I felt France was losing. They just didn't have that creative outlet, you know, and obviously Mbappe was heavily relied on. So it's funny that you mentioned that about Chouameni. Not taking away from his game, obviously. I think he's still a solid player. And I understood the Cruz decision as well, which is what I said too, was I think the Cruz decision was more of a mature, like sometimes you need your experienced players, right? Like having both, because Chouameni and Camavinga, you see so many times in the games where they just kind of lose focus, like a lot of misplaced passes, you know. So I can see why he wanted Cruz, but he realized quickly that wasn't working, like around the 60th minute. So yeah, I think overall it was a good game. Obviously disappointing that Real Madrid couldn't, close the gap, because I think he would have just made the league a bit more exciting for us neutral fans, right?
I'm looking at the table now. I didn't realize the gap was this big, to be honest. I'm looking at 68 points for Barcelona, 56 for Real Madrid. Barcelona's only conceded 9 goals against to Madrid's 21. You know what I mean? It's like
you know what this is? This is Ancelotti. This is Ancelotti. This is frustration based upon Ancelotti's only man management and bad and not sufficient tactics when he needs to. This over reliance is what's killing me. It's an over reliance. It's not a reliance. It's over reliance. Chouameni should be match fit by now. By now, he should have had Chouameni and Camavinga as his go-to. If Cruz and Modric are going to get another contract, it's not because you play them. It's because they do something. Modric has done something in Champions League. You giving Cruz an opportunity to do something in Champions League So to do something is poor form, because what you should be doing is keeping that fire in Cruz's heart. And by saying, you know what, Tchouaméni before he got injured was fine, and you were injured, and so I brought in Tchouaméni. And then when Tchouaméni was injured after that whole Paris debacle, and Cruz was also injured, and Ceballos was fit and doing well for us, and getting the Santiago Bernabéu to chant, sign, re-sign in the summer. But then you drop him. You literally dropped him. For who? For Cruz. You didn't drop him for Camavinga, because Camavinga helped.
Well, how long has he dropped him for? It feels like it's been a while since I've seen Tchouaméni on the team sheet.
The problem
starting lineup.
The problem is not Tchouaméni not starting. The problem is Ceballos losing his spot over Cruz when he was in form, in order for Cruz to come into form. Because Cruz being in form is not the reason why we won the beat Liverpool.
Yeah,
Cruz being in form, you trying to get Cruz in form is the reason why we've lost the last couple of games. when Barcelona dropped against two teams in the last 4 weeks, when we played them in the first leg of the cup, and you played this guy, and all they did was lock down Vinicius Jr. You have no right winger, but you have an overload of a central midfield. You have a midfield player who is not a 6. He literally has 8 on his back. You're playing him as a
6. Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Because you guys didn't stretch the pitch well enough today. You guys did not.
We haven't been able to do that since this guy started playing this nonsense. When Tchouaméni was there, Tchouaméni was the guy. Cruz was fine and Madrid was fine. The moment he dropped him, Camavinga is not a strictly 6. If you want Cruz and Modric to get into form, you have to get them into form. Maybe not playing at the same time. Maybe because Modric has been in form. Maybe you play Cruz with Tchouaméni and Camavinga, and maybe you'll realize that, oh yeah, this is how I get into form, where the veterans control how we attack. They don't control how we attack and defend. But he's playing them like, I want my veterans who've done it all and won it all, who are legends of the game and of this club, to balance the game. But they don't have the legs to do that. Modric does in spells. Cruz, he doesn't not play, and he doesn't. I see what you're saying,
because Modric does well when he has the runners around him, right? And I think if, like you said, if you had set up Tchouaméni, Camavinga, then now Modric can actually play his game, right? Because you have Tchouaméni that can be the, that can be the guy who just sits and plays that defensive role, right? And then Camavinga can be like the Fred of your team, where he's just all over the place, doing what he needs to do. And then Modric can just be that Rolls Royce that just, pops here and there, And I think you guys would have had a better game, because you saw with the subs, Real Madrid looked like you guys were starting to do something, but I think it was too late for Barcelona at that point. I'm sorry, it was too late for Real Madrid at that point.
Yeah, it was, man. It was.
And that's what I was saying, because Barcelona was playing well, and I was like, but I noticed that Barcelona's energy in the midfield had kind of tapered down. And that's why I was saying that Barcelona needs that energy to come in. And once they made those subs, and Fati coming in, Carvajal obviously struggling all of a sudden.
Carvajal was struggling the whole game. Let's be very honest.
But I'm saying, at least Ansu Fati coming on, they could capitalize on that, right?
100%. You're
right.
And
then obviously Kessie coming in the middle. Even though, I think he just kind of stabilized their midfield.
The last 2 games, Kessie has scored on us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The last 2 times Kessie has played, he scored on us. In the Copa, he scored on us. That was a goal that they VAR reviewed for a minute.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
remember? He scored, and then same thing here again. Kessie scored on us. It's tough, man. It's tough. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. But I never believed we had the league. I said that from the minute from minute one. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Back to doing what we always do. Put all our eggs in the Champions League basket.
So now it's a must win for Real Madrid now, man. It is a must win.
You asked me earlier if I thought Ancelotti was staying. If he loses against Chelsea, he's gone.
You guys are on the verge of winning no trophies this year.
Oh, we won the Club World Cup.
Is that what Chelsea? Oh, you guys are now Chelsea, eh?
Yeah.
You guys are now, at least you won the Club World Cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are now rating that as a trophy. You guys are now rating that as a trophy.
You know what?
Wow.
Tuchel was watching this game, and he was like, the moment Kessie scored, Tuchel was like, "Yo, let me speed up my my Spanish classes because this guy Ancelotti, there's the chances of him winning a back-to-back Champions League is slimmer. Slimmer than it's actually slimmer than us winning the league.
Yeah, that's
and that's the scary part. So it's gonna be interesting, man. But I'm at this point in time. Last year's W's masked what we needed to do this year, and so we didn't do it, and we're paying for it. But I think the board is going to make the right decision. I love Kroos and Modric to death. I think Modric will probably get another year because Modric is not looking for an increase in salary or any bonuses, and he's actually consistently doing something. I think if Kroos decides to if Kroos decides that next year he's going to retire and tells the board that, I think then we'll give him another year.
Oh, I thought Kroos had already decided to leave Real Madrid after the season. Oh, just the international team. It was just the international team he retired from. Oh, I thought he was leaving Real Madrid after the season.
No. He only retired from the international team.
I guess to focus on club football.
Yeah, that's what he said. Well, and he said mainly to the young next generation coming in. He's like, yo, I've won it, I've done it, I've been there. It's time for the next generation. I don't want to be picking me because of my name. And even he said this, like, I don't want Real Madrid and Madrid. They said, I don't want Real Madrid to re-sign me or give me an extension or whatever because of my name. Right. The thing is with Kroos, he's not coming up on an extension. Next year he will be. Right.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Right? So for him, it's like, yo, we are either gonna try. If you think you're gonna retire here, you can stay. We're not gonna try to move you on. But you're not starting. You're not a guaranteed starter. And that's what it needs to be.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. No, I think at some point you need to but I'm saying, like, at some point, that's what I was asking about Ancelotti, right? If Ancelotti was leaving after the season, because at some point you need to start getting the young guys in, right? And then getting them, because games like this, you got to show them that you believe in them, right? Because if you're always for the big games, all of a sudden you drop your young guys and going for experience all the time. Well, experience, right? It's at that point you're not helping their development, from a psychological standpoint. Yeah. So yeah, definitely.
So we'll see, man. It looks like we're both going to be watching our teams to the bitter end because it's going to be a lot of drama, man.
Oh, geez. Lots of games to play still. So it's going to be, but you never know. The league, I know it's 10 points. I guess Barcelona will really have to.
Oh, you're talking about La Liga? Yo, let it go. La Liga's done.
Yeah, just let it go.
EPL, there's a chance for champions. There's a chance for
what's that song? Is it Frozen? Let it go. Let it go.
La Liga's done, man. At this point, Real Madrid is just trying to save face by not getting any worse than second.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of like for United. It was after that Liverpool game was just like, that any thought of a title,
that Liverpool game,
any thought of a title race was game over.
That Liverpool game hurt, man.